Not all pain comes from major events. Sometimes what hurts is subtle. It is the look from someone who should welcome you, but instead chooses to judge you. It is the cutting silence of someone who claims to be close, or the same behavior repeated by someone who has already promised to change. When the wound comes from someone constant in your life, the impact is not only external, it moves through deeper layers. And the most dangerous part is that while you try to understand the other person, you slowly begin to move away from yourself. There is a silent struggle happening inside many mature people, a constant attempt to maintain peace, even when the soul is asking for relief, an impulse to stay quiet so the conflict does not grow, even when the truth feels trapped in the throat. And on the other side, the urge to react with force, to stop letting things pass, to prove that you will not accept being hurt again. In this inner conflict, the greatest risk is not choosing the wrong tone. The greatest risk is losing your center while trying either to preserve the bond or break it. Sensitive adults often carry this battle in silence. They want to be bigger than the pain, more conscious than the attack, more dignified than the wound, and sometimes they confuse that with disappearing, with reshaping themselves to fit what the other person expects, hoping that one day emotional justice will arrive. But Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the real damage is not in what others do to you, it is in what you allow that experience to do to who you are. The attack may shake you, yes, but only if you forget that you still choose your response. Imagine an emperor surrounded by betrayal, accusations, and hidden attacks. He does not shout. He does not retaliate. He does not feel the need to justify himself. He governs with principles, with consistency, with dignity, because he knows that what strengthens him is not defeating the other person. It is not abandoning who he has chosen to be. Epictetus said that the real defeat is losing yourself while trying to control someone who is not under your authority. This reflection is not about ignoring pain, nor about becoming unreachable. It is about moving through it, about feeling the blow without becoming it, about recognizing the wound without letting it define your next decision. Maturity is not avoiding pain. It is passing through it without hardening, without dissolving, and coming out on the other side whole, even if wounded. When someone hurts you, the first reaction often comes loaded with emotion. That is natural. Pain wants a voice. It wants an answer. It wants protection. That is why many people call strength what is actually just emotional discharge. Responding at the moment of impact may feel like control, but most of the time, it is simply emotional defense trying to escape discomfort. Behind that urgency, there is a familiar pattern in the brain. The body wants relief. The mind wants explanation, but the heart simply wants the pain to stop. And so words are thrown in the heat of the moment, shouting, accusations, sarcasm, or even cold silence meant to return the same pain that was felt. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself during moments of great tension. He practiced the pause as a way not to lose himself in impulse. He understood that no decision made at the peak of disturbance represents the best of who someone is. A pause is not cowardice. It is wisdom in action. It is you telling your nervous system, wait, I will choose with clarity, not with instinct. You have likely lived through this. Saying something that later became another weight to carry. A sentence that does not represent who you want to be. A gesture that only increased the distance between you and someone else. The original wound becomes two. What might have been healed becomes something that now must be overcome. Creating space between feeling and responding changes the outcome. It changes you. That pause might last a minute, a night, or even a full cycle of reflection. But when it is respected, clarity returns. And with clarity comes the possibility of acting according to what you believe, not according to what you felt in the moment of impact. That changes everything. You avoid decisions that betray you, and you begin protecting what keeps you grounded. Much pain lasts not because of what was done, but because of the attempt to understand why it was done. You return to the moment, replay the words, analyze expressions, search for hidden signals, as if fully understanding the other person would bring peace. But time passes, and peace does not arrive, because understanding is not what heals. There is a real risk in diving too deeply into the other person while you are still bleeding. You begin to drift away from yourself. This happens when you focus too much on deciphering the one who hurt you, when you forget to ask, "What did this do to me?" Because what defines your next choice is not what motivated the other person. It is what remains within you. Epictetus was clear. The other person's intention is not under your control. Your response is. When you remain trapped in the why of the other person, you become stuck. When you shift toward, "What will I do with this?" you begin to move again. Sometimes the other person has already moved on, already forgotten, already minimized what happened, while you remain there, replaying everything inside. Turning the focus back to yourself is not selfishness. It is respect. Repositioning begins when you stop explaining yourself to the pain and start naming its effect on you. That creates order. It restores your center. It restores discernment. Little by little, you stop reacting to intention and start responding to the real impact. The result of this shift is profound. Less rumination, less exhaustion, more emotional autonomy. You do not force forgiveness. You do not pretend to forget. But you also stop losing yourself trying to reorganize the inner world of someone who is not you. Being hurt does not diminish anyone, but reacting without discernment can. That is what Marcus Aurelius teaches us, that firmness does not need bitterness in order to exist, that maintaining your principles while in pain is more valuable than winning a conflict. Strength is not never feeling pain. Strength is refusing to let what you felt reshape who you are. Epictetus reinforced the same idea. Real freedom is maintaining inner governance even under attack. Not because the attack does not hurt, but because you decide it will not guide your next steps. That requires maturity. It requires practice. But it also restores something no one can take from you: your integrity. Dealing with someone who hurt you does not mean forgiving without discernment. It also does not mean maintaining the same closeness. It means consciously choosing how you position yourself in light of what was lived. It means protecting yourself without needing to justify it. It means refusing to carry the pain as your identity. In the end, self-respect means not abandoning who you want to be. Even when the pain shouts, even when resentment insists, even when the other person seems not to care. Because moving through pain without losing yourself is what builds emotional dignity. And the person who comes out whole, even wounded, has already won. Not against the other person, but within themselves.